Shalom, it's your brother Yerah, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak Kodash for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom to the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the men of the Lord, the prophets that are preaching and teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I have another quick article here. Going back in, I'll get a couple precepts, but you can see the devil here is at work, and it's quite blatant now. Now, some other Edomites call this out, but as we know in the latter days, that their tongue, will fall upon themselves. Their houses are divided, and there's more discord now than ever. But I'll read the headline. It says, Fox News apologizes after getting called out for comparing the death of black men to gains in the stock market. Now, if you brothers watch any type of financial news or know or watch Fox Business, I believe, or CNBC, they'll go in about, stock market rallies, and they'll put up various graphs and whatnot to show, correlations of, events versus gains in the stock market, or maybe just a sector in the stock market. And look at this nonsense here, man. This graph they put up, which is basically showing you that every time, Jake goes out there and he riots or he marches or, some nigga gets killed, they're counting it, they're watching it, So they have MLK assassination is 2.9%. The Rodney King, the Michael Brown death, George Floyd death is overall the biggest one yet, showing you that this most recent riot is by far the most damaging to these Salakia, to these small businesses, and it's the most lucrative for Esau at the top, who is the so-called white man. Now, if you look, the Dow Jones is up, and you have these Edomites basically going in saying, look at how much money we made off of all these niggas in the streets. Now, really, a lot of them are inciting these riots. Now, you have to question their motives, because we know who we're dealing with here, and that's the devil, It says, trust not thine enemy, as it says in Sirach 12. It says, let me just read this. It says, the stock market tends to do really well after high-profile cases of brutality and murder in the black community leads to widespread civil unrest. According to a Fox News graphic answering the question nobody with any sense of the movement was asking on Friday. Well, nobody was asking it out in public, but the Edomites discussed it. And there's definitely was some Edomites that probably discussed it before these riots took place. Now, you can make an argument now that white people were, or so-called white people, welcome these riots, in many ways, especially the elites at the top. I'm not talking about the average Joe Edomite that owns a bakery, and he lost his money in that, because there's a lot of Edomites in distress too, showing you that this nation is divided. But there's a very sinister plan going on, and you can see it as they just blatantly put it up here. This is all posturing. They're controlling and manipulating people en masse via social media, via news media. Jake is riled up in his spirit, but ultimately the spirit is not of the Most High. Now he's orchestrating it, he has his hand in it, but y'all are not in the righteous spirit that you should be in, but you should be praying for this place to just go down. It says here it didn't go over well across social media. Well, I bet it didn't. The son of Martin Luther King Jr. was one of many voices taking offense, tweeting he was appalled and that human life does not compare to a percentage jump in the S&P 500. Well, to Esau Edom it does. It damn sure does. That's what we've been ever since he brought us over here. It's just a coin, you know, a means to come up. Let me get Ecclesiastes 5:8. It says, if thou seest the oppression of the poor and the violent perverting of judgment and justice and of providence, and that's what they're witnessing, with us being killed on the street and us rioting. It says, marvel not at the matter. Well, they're marveling here, They're they're like, look, we have a record jump, in these types of incidents on the stock market, 3.4%. They're like high fiving each other, like, yeah, like this man is the devil. It says, for he that is higher than the highest Salakia, for he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there might be a, and there be higher than they. So the most high is looking at this man, and he's over you. So he's not every single thing you do, Esau. The most high is watching. You're gonna pay for every goddamn thing you do. Verse 9 says, moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. He that loadeth silver shall not be satisfied with silver. So he's not going to be satisfied with this. He wants it. He wants it all. He wants us enslaved. He wants us back in a low poverty class. He was not able to destroy us via single motherhood and birth control, and food stamps and abortions, and drugs, crack, all of these things he's thrown at us. He was not able to destroy us, you know. So now it's becoming problematic, you know. He's about to make that move because you know what they have but a short time. It says, nor he that loveth abundance with increase, this is also vanity. So him taking pride in this is vanity, you know. And these gains that he's making, these are in U.S. dollars, largely, which that's going to come to a crashing halt too. And I'll get James 5. So I'll just skip over to James 5 and yeah, 5 and 3. It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, because this U.S. dollar is not worth a damn thing. They're printing trillions of dollars every single week, How much money can it be worth? They're propping this place up, and eventually those food shortages are going to hit, and then all hell's going to break loose. Now, when it costs 20 grand for a Big Mac at McDonald's, you niggas are going to bug out. And then who you going to go to, You can't ask Esau for, 20 grand, Not in that day. And he shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Right? Because this thing is going to crash, This whole thing is going to crash. It says, ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And we are in those last days, We are most definitely in those last days. And now he's using this fake money, and he's heaping together himself actual real resources. He's manufacturing real guns. He's taking real gold. He's taking real land, and he's giving the rest of the world U.S. dollars. Now the rest of the world is catching on. It's really already caught on to it. I think, pursuant to Obadiah 1 and 7, they're just laying that wound, underneath them, because they know this is bullshit. He's giving us this monopoly money, while he's over in the planet Earth taking all the resources, all the oil out the planet. Verse 5, it says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth. Salakia, I skipped. Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, because you frauded people, with this goddamn, U.S. dollar. And you're, so that's why it said in Ecclesiastes, this is vanity, It says, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord Sabaoth. So the Most High is hearing this, you know, because that us not having any real wealth is hurting us the most, you know, because we're already on the very, very bottom. Verse 5, it says, "Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter." So you just fatten yourself up, you know, for the for the sacrifice, really, you know. Your pride is welled up. It's got you way, way high up on yourself, and the Most High hate pride, you know. Verse 6, "Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you." So you got a lot to pay for, you saw, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to get that, share that with the body. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Shalom. Hopefully you brothers were edified. Shalom.